Welcome back to What She Says Sports. This is Nola Girl checking in. All right, so I want y'all to know Atlanta is on fire. Atlanta is on fire. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Fallout ATL. Now, let me tell y'all something. I want y'all to understand something. Bringing Kevin Stefanski in was not an afterthought. In fact, they knew when they fired Raheem Morris and the general manager, Terry Fontenot, they knew they were hiring Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski was fired 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Today is only what? The 15th, the 16th, the 18th. What's today? The 18th? So Stefanski was fired. It actually be 3 weeks ago tomorrow. Stefanski was fired on the 5th of Monday. Stefanski was fired on a Monday. Raheem Morris was fired the day before Stefanski was fired. Understand that. Monday, January 5th, Stefanski was fired. Raheem Morris was fired 24 hours before Kevin Stefanski. Understand that. Understand that. The city of Atlanta is exactly like this picture on my page. You see this guy right here holding a can of kerosene standing in front of a burning Mercedes-Benz? This is the sentiment of the fan base of the Atlanta Falcons. The only people who don't feel this way are people who wanted Dylan to play in Cleveland, the media who has hijacked this story. The media already doing a heartwarming piece on Dylan Gabriel. The Athletic is doing a piece on Dylan Gabriel to make you believe he's that guy. Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot were fired because the Falcons knew that they were going to hire Kevin Stefanski. Understand this. Raheem Morris had a better record than Kevin Stefanski. Falcons fans woke up this morning and said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me we fired a guy with a better record than the guy that we hired? Or we hired a guy with a worse record than the guy we fired? Facts. What did I tell y'all? I said the Falcons fans don't know what they want. When they were happy Raheem Morris was fired, it's because they didn't realize at the time. See, they know now. They didn't realize at the time that Raheem Morris was being fired because he was black. They didn't realize that the GM was being fired because he's black. They didn't realize, and they still have not realized, that the Falcons hired Kevin Stefanski, who has a worse record than Raheem Morris, before they hired a GM. Doesn't the GM normally have something to do with the hiring and firing? See, this is about giving Kevin Stefanski total control over the Atlanta Falcons roster. And I just read, I'm going to share it with you. I just read that the Atlanta Falcons are going to allow Kevin Stefanski to collaborate with Matt Ryan to find and search and hire a GM. Did you understand what I just said? In addition to firing a coach and hiring a coach with a worse record than the one you fired, in addition to hiring this same losing coach. You hired the losing coach before you hired the GM after you fired the black GM. And you are giving carte blanche to the losing coach to collaborate with the newly hired Matt Ryan. So together they can hire a GM. Now, what has Kevin Stefanski done to be afforded all of this power and control of a franchise after losing in Cleveland, being fired because he was a losing coach? Kevin Stefanski is being rewarded, ladies and gentlemen. This is reward season. Kevin Stefanski is being rewarded. People, apparently, who have decision-making ability in this league are so enamored and so amazed at how Kevin Stefanski could manage to subdue the Browns for 6 years and devalue 6 or 7 black quarterbacks and diminish their impact, Shedeur Sanders, and injure so an insurance company can pay their salary, Deshaun Watson. Michael Penix Jr. has been betrayed by the Atlanta Falcons. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. And this is my opinion. When they hired Matt Ryan, they were oiling up the esophagus of the Atlanta Falcons fan base. And how do I know that? Because I'm sitting right here in Atlanta. And one thing I have learned since I have moved here is the Falcons fans, black and white, love Matt Ryan. So the Falcons fans got seduced and they got played at the same time. They got seduced with Matt Ryan because they love Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan can do no wrong. Icy Matty he got all these nicknames in the city, right? And then what they have Matt Ryan to do after you was rubbing your hands like Birdman, because he is as a legend in Atlanta football. They expected him to make a good coaching hire. So this is where the Atlanta fans got played. They oiled up your esophagus so they could shove a head coach down your esophagus easier. A head coach that has a losing record, that only succeeded at dividing the locker room and intimidating players, that supported Shedeur, who abused, dehumanized Shedeur from May 2025 to January 2026. They oiled up your esophagus. With Icy Ryan or whatever the hell it is they call him around here. Now they hate it. And they played straight in your face. And if you a decent human being, and you a decent Atlanta Falcons fan, and if you a black Atlanta Falcons fan, or you hate racism, you hate what the Falcons just did to this team. You hate it. Because let me tell you what they getting ready to do. They get ready to use this team to change the way this city looks. See, I watched some documentaries. When they brought the Olympics to town, you know what they thought? They thought a lot of people would move here. So they built too many homes out in Stone Mountain. They invited people to the city internationally. They wanted them to fall in love with Atlanta and move here so the city wouldn't be so black, but it backfired. city still black. Gentrification, city still black. They can't find a way to take their city. They wanted to take the airport. Yeah. They wanted to take the airport. They tried that. That shit didn't work. Now we going to use the Falcons. Now understand this. What's in it for the Falcons? What was in it for the Browns? To take Deshaun Watson's contract and blame who? The black GM that's going to get fired. No matter how much he devalues black athletes, he going to get fired. In fact, they already know who his replacement is, and so do I. You just don't know what day he going to be fired. But just like this decision right here, you can look back now after your esophagus was oiled up with Matt Ryan to see that they hired Kevin Stefanksi to take this team down. They ain't winning shit. In fact, you know what the hell finna happen? Stefanski, in my opinion, this is my opinion, is getting ready to do exactly what he did in Cleveland. And what is the reason why he gonna make sure they lose? Why he gonna make sure they get eliminated from the playoffs when Shedeur got them there? And like lickety split. The motivation is they have a black QB1. Kevin Stefanski's job is to suppress that black QB1. Matt Ryan just betrayed the hell out of Michael Penix Jr. The owner of the Falcons just betrayed the hell out of Michael Penix Jr. This hire is a threat to Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr., Shedeur already got robbed. And they was from right here in Atlanta. Isn't that what they said? The prank, Atlanta. The robbery, Atlanta. They practically trying to tell you. They practically trying to tell you these people spend more time suppressing black quarterbacks than they do trying to win games. It ain't even about winning games. Because guess what? Tyler Shaw just won the NFC South next year. And Kevin Stefanski gonna do everything in his power to make sure that the black QB1 in Atlanta don't make it. Carolina gonna do everything in his power to make sure that the black QB1 don't make it. This is about Tyler Shaw winning the NFC South. This is about reversing progress in Atlanta with the fan base. Everybody know the fan base is black. Everybody know the city is black. This is about changing who does the halftime show. Let me give you a little bit of a peek of who does the halftime show in Atlanta. Jeezy, Jagged Edge, Soulja Boy, Young Jock, local DJs. So they can celebrate Atlanta's musical culture. That don't go with Stefanski, but it go with Michael Penix Jr. So you ask yourself, who the hell is being played here? Because I said it's a risky move to bring Stefanski here and anybody else from Cleveland. And apparently they're packing their and coming this way. I posted on my page a reel from DC Youngfly who said what everybody is thinking. What the hell you do this for? We didn't want him. We wanted Shedeur. After what he did to Shedeur, we don't want him here. The Atlanta Falcons have flipped off their middle finger to their fan base. So you can have white people do the halftime show. So you can have the University of Georgia's band come on down. Not Alabama State. This is about a reversal of progress. Atlanta has always been a black mecca. And what you see happening in larger society is black people in leadership being stripped and pushed out. The same thing is happening in the NFL. They're just quiet about it. And the media has been charged with pushing the story down your greased up throat. Like this is all happenstance. So you don't get upset that they fired some black guys, because I still need y'all to buy tickets unless they already have a commitment with fans from Alabama, South Carolina. Because Tennessee got a team. Maybe Kentucky. They not coming from Mississippi because they go to New Orleans. The Falcons not only flipped off their middle finger to their fans by firing a coach who's black, who had only been here 2 years, who had a better record than the white coach that they brought in, who they are giving all of the power to. And everything Kevin Stefanski did to Shedeur benefited his promotion. Everything Kevin Stefanski did to Deshaun benefited his promotion. Everything Kevin Stefanski did to retaliate against Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, everything Kevin Stefanski did to retaliate against Wyatt Teller, Tony Brown, everything Kevin Stefanski did to enlist and coerce Jerry Jeudy, even convinced him to make himself the number one visible motive for the robbery with his stupid antics. Dummy. Everything Kevin Stefanski did to coerce 3 black Browns players to try to take down a black quarterback, and everything he did to coerce about 8 or 9 or 10 white players and coaches to take down Shedeur Sanders. Kevin Stefanski got to be a wizard. And I don't mean the kind that makes things happen. I mean the kind that's hooded. I have never seen people fall at the feet, scared of, intimidated by a person like Kevin Stefanski if he wasn't affiliated at the highest ranks of organizations that perpetuate hatred for black people. Yeah. So they decided to bring the road show to Atlanta because it worked at Cleveland. And why is that? Because he could have took this show on the road to Nashville. And maybe Nashville is more similar to Cleveland than Atlanta. But they kept trying to tell us Atlanta, something's coming. Atlanta, something's coming. And here it is, Atlanta. And they played straight in your face and flipped you off. And basically now they're asking you, who gonna check me, boo? What y'all gonna do about it? So fans are saying, I'm trading in and I'm canceling my season tickets. Okay. And why are they okay with that? I will remind you and inform those that don't know. Quid pro quo, 1, is illegal, but 2, it happens a lot, just like collusion. If you do this as an owner, you can get you a new stadium. The Falcons do not own Mercedes-Benz. Every owner wants the star that's in Dallas. And Cleveland got theirs. And what did they do to get it? Deshaun Watson's contract, and to keep him from stepping on the field again, which is why when we came into the situation with Shedeur in Cleveland, all you heard was Deshaun Watson has played his last snap in the NFL. How do you know this? Is the insurance company paying his salary this year and last year? And that's how you know this. Is an insurance company paying Michael Penix Jr. injury, salary? Yes. Because I think I saw him with some kind of medical braces on both of his knees. Did they manage to tear 2 of this man's ACLs, only the 2 he got in his knees? They hate him. In my opinion, the Falcons have never wanted to win with Michael Penix Jr. Remember, I was supporting the Falcons. I will remind you that Falcons Saints rivalry is big business. And from what I remember, it's a lot of black people traveling back and forth between the cities. Because everybody we came with over and over and over was black. And everybody we met up with in Atlanta for the Saints Falcons rivalry over and over and over was black. That's why Jeezy, Young Jock, Soulja Boy, Jagged Edge, local DJs are the halftime shows. And now that you understand who the fans are, the total opposite of a Cleveland or of a Nashville, why he didn't go to Nashville? Is it because Cam is outspoken? So did they think Kevin Stefanski would succeed at tearing down Shedeur, and he failed at that? Because Shedeur is still standing. But what he did succeed at is making sure they lost a playoff elimination game so they didn't go to the playoffs. What he succeeded at was making sure they had a losing season, and it's not for draft picks. Because they made sure they didn't have a top draft pick because they don't want one. So why does Cleveland want to keep losing when Deshaun is QB1? When Shedeur is QB1? When Dylan was QB1? When Flacco was QB1? Why do you want to keep losing? They brought in Dylan as a check down king so they could oil your throat for Tyler Shaw as a check down king. Like they have already oiled your throat for Mendoza as the check down king. When was the last time you heard them talk about Carson Beck? Who's not a check down king, by the way? Why do they want Dylan's and Tyler Shaw's? Because they're not black. Which is why they're stifling Lamar Jackson athleticism, Shedeur Sanders athleticism. They say he ain't have none, but he sure can put up 393 yards. They're stifling that too. They're stifling Malik Willis, who you saw air it out. They already planning to stifle Caleb Williams. Has that game started? How's DJ Stroud doing? Michael Penix Jr., like Shedeur, shout out to Alan who came into the chat and told me this, and I looked it up. Michael Penix Jr., like Shedeur, is an avid, staunch man of faith. Man of faith. In fact, he's so much a man of faith. People were worried about him because this is what he said, which indicates to me he knew they were setting him up to fail in November of 2025. At 1:21 p.m. on November 12th, 2025, 400,000 people viewed what I'm getting ready to read. And I want you to think about Shedeur. And I want you to think about Travis. And I want you to think about Justin Fields and CJ Stroud. Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. This is a quote from Michael Penix Jr. At the end of the day, football is not my identity. They didn't like that. I am a son of God. They seemingly hate when black players love and serve the Lord. The pattern is there. The pattern is there. That's what I believe in. And I just walk by faith and not by sight. And not by what other people are saying, which means they have been trying to tear him down with their words like Stefanski did to Shedeur, but it ain't working. Enter Kevin Stefanski. But he failed. Why? Because Shedeur is a child of God. So these idiots thought that it made a lot of sense to flip the middle finger to their loyal, mostly black fan base so they could get Kevin Stefanski to try to work his anti-blackism, his narcissism, his racism on another child of God, Michael Penix Jr. So I just continue to go about my day each day and say just like that. So he's reminding himself not to be deterred by these people because, like Shedeur, he's a child of God, and Shedeur is still standing, is he not? Yes, he is. So these people are using what I think is a dusty playbook with Kevin Stefanski as the wizard. And they're going to give him total control of who the GM is in collaboration with Matt Ryan after they greased up the city's throat to accept Matt Ryan and worship whatever decision he makes and trust it, blind trust. Because it's Matty Ice Ryan, something like that. That's what they be calling him around here until today. So the Falcons are threatening their quarterback one, Michael Penix Jr. Pay attention. They fired Raheem Morris and fired the GM. And then the owner said, we have to do what's right by the fans. The fans who watch Young Jock. The fans who watch Jagged Edge. The fans who watch Jeezy. The fans who love to watch the collaborations with Outkast. The black fans. We have to do right by the black fans. So they brought in a losing coach who has devalued every black quarterback out of the 11 he has had in 6 years. They brought in a losing coach who failed to build chemistry with the black quarterbacks in Cleveland, including Shedeur, including Deshaun, including Jameis, including DTR, including Huntley, who said he didn't never want to go back to Cleveland because they did him dirty multiple times, including PJ Walker. So you have to do right by the fans. You hire Matt Ryan and grease up their esophagus. And then you hand over half of the keys to Matt Ryan, who hires with the other half of the keys a losing coach who has displayed that he does not believe black quarterbacks are worthy of the position and worked all last season to make Shedeur unavailable at QB1 and made Deshaun unavailable and unimpactful at QB1, who devalued Jameis Winston, who just went to New York, and fans were like, wow, he's a QB1, who devalued a 5th-round pick named Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who was a true 5th rounder and was injured after college, who was a developmental project for 2 to 5 years for real, and made him play and lose against 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson. But Shedeur could only play for the 1/2 against Lamar Jackson because fans would have loved it. See, it's not about the fans. The Falcons have said to hell with the fans and to hell with black people and black fans and black employees and to hell with these black players. See, y'all don't know, but I talked about it a little bit. See, I showed y'all that there was the same BS happening, retaliation against players for standing up for somebody black who was being done dirty by the team. The wide receiver coach was unjustly fired. And a player, I forget his name, stood up for that coach and got retaliated against. They cut him. Just like you saw retaliation in Cleveland against people that supported Shedeur, who's black. There was retaliation in Atlanta for players who showed support for a black coach. And who got fired? The black head coach that they made an enemy of the locker room so they could fire him. And they kicked out the GM who was successful. So let's get this straight. You fire a winning GM, a successful GM. You fire a black coach and hire a white coach who had a worse record than him. You turn over half the keys to the white coach who couldn't and refused to build chemistry with the black quarterbacks. And your black leading starting quarterback is black. The Falcons have threatened Michael Penix Jr. They just robbed Shedeur with people from Atlanta. Kevin Stefanksi is quoted as saying the ribeye sealed the deal for him. Was that a code? Is it the ribs or the eyes that's going to seal the deal for him? The Falcons, and since the new year started, have betrayed black leadership, have betrayed black players, have betrayed the black starting quarterback, because after they hired, after the owner said, we got to do right by the fans, and I just told you who does the halftime show. Then they hired Matt Ryan. Then he came on the record and stated that Michael Penix Jr. is QB1, and then he turns around and hired Kevin Stefanski. So just like he was oiling up the esophagus of the Falcons fan base, which is largely black, so they could ooh and ah and rub their hands like Birdman for Matty Ice Ryan, somebody they love. And they stabbed them in the back, just like they did Coach Prime and Shedeur them in the draft. Lured them in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And then when it came to the big decision, hiring the head coach, drafting Shedeur, they stabbed them in the back. That's their MO. I told you, when they start touching on you and making you feel like you belong, it's coming. Tenderism. Shout out to Tina, who sent me the story about Unc and tenderism and Keith Lee. We're going to talk about that because it's the same thing. The moment they make you feel like you belong and you can be successful without them, or it becomes apparent that you are successful without them, that you do not need them, that you might be bigger than who they are. This is narcissism. So they coming for Michael Penix Jr. And they already messed up 2 of his knees, and understand they knew his ACL was vulnerable, so they got it twice. I saw Michael Penix Jr. in a wheelchair, I guess, after surgery, and I know I saw both his legs wrapped up. And I thought I heard somebody say he had a double ACL something. And then I heard them say, yeah, Michael Penix Jr. is injury prone. I also heard them say, yeah, Jaden Daniels is injury prone. But I've never heard anybody say that J.J. McCarthy should be dismissed because he's injury prone. I've never heard anybody say that, what's his name in Cincinnati? Joe Burrow is injury prone. And that's why they need to find somebody else. Only when you black. The Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion, with everything that is documented that they have done to fire a winning GM, a black head coach, and replace him with a white coach that has a worse record, that abused a black quarterback in front of everybody, to hire that person who's not a good coach, who tried to break a child of God because he's black and they don't want to go to the Super Bowl with him. The Atlanta Falcons do not want to win with Michael Penix Jr., in my opinion, and I have said this since Michael Penix Jr. got to Atlanta and did well in training camp. He was targeted by them. He still is targeted by them because why? He's not deterred by them. He can't be controlled by them. They can't pay him to take a dive, so he's injured, so they can get paid for his salary. He's out the way, so Kirk Cousins can go out there and lose. And they want to say when Kirk Cousins lost to the Jets, that's what got Raheem Morris fired. Raheem Morris was targeted and set up because he was black. The Falcons were trying and have always been trying to appease the black fans until they don't want to do it no more. That's what all of those tax deductions to HBCUs were about. Because what they told you by telling you Michael Penix Jr. is QB1, by making you excited about Matty Ice Ryan, is that they can play you like a box of Fruit Loops. And they don't give a damn what you think about Kevin Stefanski being a losing coach and abusing a black quarterback. And they don't give a damn what you think about Kevin Stefanski being unwilling to build chemistry with the black QB1s, which is exactly what Michael Penix Jr. is. And they don't give a damn what you think about Kevin Stefanski destroying the careers of black quarterbacks, because that's why they hired him, in my opinion. They have flipped off this city. They have offended every black person that's out here with a brain that works, who can think, who knows what's going on. They have basically said it is permissible for a white head coach to abuse a black quarterback, and we don't give a damn what you think. And if you don't come to the game, we gonna move to a white area where we can buy a patch of land about 200 acres and build our own stadium, because we want to be like Jerry Jones, like Jimmy Haslam. Every owner wants a star, and they have to do certain things to get it. Just like Kevin Stefanski had to do certain things to get this promotion that he does not deserve. Quid pro quo. Michael Penix Jr., if you ever see this or anybody that know him, Shedeur has already been robbed. Shedeur, they crushed his throwing hand so Dilla could get in the game, and the fans booed the hell out of him, which means if you take your ass to them games, you better have on a Michael Penix Jr. jersey or a Deion Sanders jersey. That's it. And you need to burn anything else that got Ryan on it or that shows support for Stefanski. This is an abomination and total disrespect, and in my an experiment to offend black people, because what you gonna do? And if they succeed at this, you're gonna see this play out somewhere else in offense against black people at large. And what you gonna do? I told y'all Cleveland was an experimental franchise. Here we go. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody got choices in life. Everybody got choices in life. You can let people convince you that it's better to be asleep than it is to be woke, because you want to be invited on their show or because you want to make some money. You can let people oil up and grease your throat and shove racism down it because they take pleasure in controlling you. We all got choices. You can sit up here and repeat the narrative that the media is pushing, because all I've heard from the media, which is how I know they hijacking the narrative. Oh, he's a two-time coach. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Let him play and see what he does with the QB. Stefanski has had 11 or 12 quarterbacks across the racial spectrum. He abused the black ones and screwed up the careers of the white ones that got away, like Villain is about to do. And while y'all worried about who going to this Super Bowl, they already planning who winning the divisional next year, and the NFC South getting run through the Saints in New Orleans for the Super Bowl next year. Because Tyler Shaw is their pet project. Like Dylan was the Browns' pet project. Tyler Shaw and Dylan are check down kings. Tyler Shaw and Dylan got their position because they came through with the Mannings. Inside the inner trust circle of the Browns is the Mannings. Matt Ryan was previously, until he changed his management in a couple days ago, was represented by Jimmy Sexton of that agency, the ACAA, whatever, where everybody else is, including Derrick Henry. Why didn't they send Stefanski to Baltimore? Baltimore said his ass better not come here. And Lamar Jackson ain't no pushover. And even his teammates have encouraged Lamar Jackson to be more vocal, which meant they try to subdue him like they did Shedeur. They never stop. We all have choices. And your choice going forward is to ask yourself, who do you love? And if you say, I love myself, are you sure? Because the Falcons think you love them more than you love your black self. Because when they greased up your esophagus with Matt Ryan because you like him, they was playing in your face because they knew they was going to stab you in your back. They knew they was going to bring in somebody that's not black quarterback friendly. And what you going to do about it? We all have choices. Who do you love? The Falcons or your black self? And are you for sure? Balls in your court. Make good choices. All right, so let me see what y'all saying, because I know y'all got a lot to say as well. I've been running polls. I've been asking questions. We've been talking about this. And it's just a travesty. It's a travesty of epic proportions, because this people gonna sit here and watch Stefanski make a path for Tyler Shaw after they watch black leaders be pushed out, and they are actively watching their black quarterback be targeted. And they're going to be expected to keep paying for the racism that they watching to play out. Make good choices. Make good choices. All right, so here we go. It says, good evening, Nola. How you doing? It said, how's everybody? It said, can't wait to hear what you're going to talk about. Thank you, Jarrell. Stefanski is not a Falcons head coach. It said, everyone wow. CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans eliminated. Mission accomplished. Only who's standing? Caleb Williams. And I'm going to tell you right now, they greasing up them throats down there or up there in Chicago. I want to see how Chicago turns out, because the prediction is that CJ Stroud was going to lose, because we talk about black quarterbacks here, because his head coach is also black, so they definitely going to lose. But who do they want to win in Chicago? Is it Ben Johnson, who they love, who seemingly is like them, because they not like us? Because nobody believes it's Caleb that they want to win. Why? Because they paying his D3 backup $10 million. So do they want Ben Johnson to win, or have they already talked to him and say, hey, we'll reward you later. Just take this L like Matt LaFleur just did. And he got rewarded. He got one hell of an extension for a losing coach who the fans wanted to replace. People keep wondering why they keep recycling these coaches. Because they like-minded and they don't want no new perspectives or anybody that's going to gravitate towards black quarterbacks, black head coaches, black GMs, black presidents, black players at key positions. They don't want those people in there. So they have closed off the circle of influence to people like the Stefanskis. They are like that. And people thought all this time Arthur Blank liked black people. That's a question mark, isn't it? Because why would he go along with it? Because what's in it for him? The same thing that likely was in it for the Browns. The star. Somewhere else. They're probably going to want to move the name, move the city, and move to a different area outside of the county and take the name. Isn't that what the Atlanta Braves did? The Atlanta Braves are not in Atlanta. And that's what they want to do. The same thing. The Atlanta Braves technically has a star. A little bit smaller. They don't have all the star is, but they have the same shopping retail complex. But guess what I'm going to tell you? All of the restaurants and stores, many of them by the Braves Stadium, is going out of business. See, these people make decisions based on what they want to control, how they want to win by stepping on everyone else. They obviously don't believe that God exists because they seem to go harder to take down, especially black quarterbacks that serve the Lord and let the Lord lead and who have no problem with sharing that. And that's how they succeed. And they get targeted. Penix is being targeted, in my opinion. Somebody better let him know what's up. And I know his phone blowing up. I just hope that people like Shedeur, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Jaden Daniels, Malik Willis, Cam Ward, Jordan Love, and others cover him, encourage him, help get him through this. Because he is the child of God, and they will be doing the Lord's work, in my opinion. This is war against black people. Understand that. Make good choices. All the black quarterbacks eliminated is down to Caleb Williams, right? Who do they want to win more? It said the Falcons are screwed for hiring Stefanski as the head coach. It said Arthur Blank should sell the team, right? And at this point, everybody gonna have to sell their team. Kirk Cousins is QB1. Facts. They talking about Kirk Cousins gonna end up on the desk taking Matt Ryan place. See how that works? See how the exchange of wealth, the exchange of power, the exchange of position, the exchange of influence, the exchange of residences. All to keep good people out and keep anti-blackness in. That's all this is about. That's all this is about. All of it. And there are black people along the way that allow these narcissists like Jerry Jeudy, Cam Robinson, KT Levingston to use them against Shedeur, who in Atlanta that's black will be the next to be enlisted, to be awarded something, to turn against their black quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. Understand this, Bijan Robinson ain't finna have no heyday. He finna do all that work. Where's Quinshon Judkins? Where's Nick Chubb? Somebody said Atlanta finna see more penalties than they've ever seen. They're about to see more injuries than they've ever seen. They're about to see more toxicity in that locker room that they've ever seen. Oh, it's on. This is war. And they chose the battleground. They chose The blackest city in Atlanta, in the United States. They chose the blackest city in the United States. One of the most loyal and mostly black fan bases in the United States. They committed to Michael Penix Jr. And then they brought in a coach who behaves. And it's documented by dehumanizing Shedeur Sanders, by neglecting Deshaun Watson, making the team millions in dollars for Deshaun's injury. A coach who has behaved anti-black. Michael Penix Jr. is being threatened, in my opinion. It said, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, how you doing, WAP? It said, hey there, how you doing? It said, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Kimberly, how you doing? It said, love the theme song as usual. Oh, thank you, Jarrell. I appreciate that. It said, from the A, and we'll talk about like a dog till he leaves. Yeah, some gonna go down here. Some gonna go down. Hey, Syrian, how you doing? It said, we did not ask for this, right? And they flipped the middle finger off to their fans, bro. It said, I'm hoping Caleb pulls it off. Is he gonna be allowed to? Because understand, it has already been decided. Just like it was already decided before Stefanski got fired that he was going to Atlanta. They knew he wasn't going to New York. And that was a little stunt to let you know who was going to New York. And we're going to get back to that stunt. We're going to get back to that stunt. I don't think Stefanski's plane had touched down good at all before they hired him. And they hurried up the process to get him like he's a prize. When actually, I'm going to ask you again, who the hell are they truly setting up? Because nobody can foresee how the hell this is going to work. Unless he chooses to knock it off. Stop acting anti-black. And win. With a black quarterback. Or maybe they feel like black people not going to stick with Michael Penix Jr. when they do him dirty and move him out the way and hold him back like they did Shedeur and put Kirk Cousins or somebody else white. And as long as we win, they'll be okay with it. They truly don't respect you. They truly think you're not unified and you won't stand up for Michael Penix Jr., even though you have shown them that you're willing to go to bat for Michael Penix Jr., and y'all did. And then they got him injured. In areas with an injury where he was already vulnerable. We already saw this play out in Cleveland with Shedeur hitting him in the back because he's vulnerable. That's why only Joe Burrow get things like turf toe. I have read the list of Kenny Pickett's injuries. He never have nothing like that. Black quarterbacks with season-ending injuries this year that are serious. Pat Mahomes, Jaden Daniels. Yep, we're going to talk about that too. Make good choices. Choose yourself. Who do you love? And let them know. You black and you proud. And don't get lost on this is MLK weekend in Atlanta. Do not get lost on this is MLK weekend nationally. And he's from Atlanta. Do not get lost on that. This is an attack against black people. It said the NFL season has been one trifling regular season, right? Because they let it all hang out. Just like all these corporations firing all these black people, they doing the same thing. They doing the same thing. Because who gonna check me, boo? The pendulum has swung one way, and they don't foresee it's gonna ever swing back the other way. And why do they foresee that? Questions that need answers. It said, hey sis, how you doing? How you doing? It said, I want all of them ATLians to pull up on in DI jerseys. Facts. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. That's just what you're gonna have to do. What you need to understand is they don't think you're gonna do a damn thing. Because if they thought you was gonna do something, they wouldn't have used Matt Ryan to make sure that you buy into the BS. See, the fact that they using Matt Ryan tells you that they trying to get the city on his side before they stab you in the back. This is the draft all over again. I told you they predictable. Narcissism is predictable. Black people will become the center of attention. Black people are the center of attention in Atlanta. I just rolled off who we are doing a halftime show. They don't like that. They probably have never liked it and couldn't do nothing about it until now because they feel like there's no consequences. Understand that. They probably have always hated it. They know who the fans are. And right now, they don't give a damn what the fans think. This is an attack. And they want to see what you're going to do. And the funny thing is, they think you ain't going to do nothing because you like Matt Ryan. And they don't think you're going to stand with Michael Penix Jr. Because they might win with a black guy, a white guy. But as long as you win, that's all they care about. We going to see. Let's see how long they start going in on Michael Penix Jr. after the owner says, we're committed to Michael Penix Jr. Don't be surprised if they bring Shedeur over here if things get real bad and block him behind Michael Penix Jr. Remember what happened in Cleveland. The fans stopped showing up. Atlanta, do your damn thing. Show them that they are replaceable. DC Young Fly said what we're all thinking. The Falcons are not for the city. This is why I fooled with the Hawks. Why did I start going back to Hawks games? All right. That's what we all need to be doing. Because they clearly learned their damn lesson over there. And when you go to a Hawks game, it's not just placating with all of the black halftime shows. How many HBCU nights do the Falcons have? Because Atlanta has it, and it's huge. In fact, I'm going to go and show you how huge it is. It's big time huge. And I went to one in Houston. So the NBA understands. The NBA seemingly respects. Like DC Young Fly say, they not innocent, but they don't do no stupid ish like this, aka racism. They do dumb stuff. Yes. We paid Trae Young all this money, so we're gonna have to let him lose because he make all the money. They do stuff like that. Because the players' contracts are guaranteed. You better respect the players because they can sit on the bench and still get paid. See, the NFL is not like that, and they do not respect the players. And the browner, the more melanin, pain is a weapon. Y'all didn't think it was strange that Pat Mahomes had a season-ending injury? This is war. This is an attack. This is who gonna check me, boo? And y'all ain't gonna do shit. That's what this is. Y'all ain't gonna do shit. And if you do, we gonna move further up and get our own spot. Fine, get the hell on. And we taking the name with us. Get the hell on. That's what you need to be saying. Get the hell on. Like this city, as small as it is, it's so much to do in Atlanta. They could actually be having a Falcons game, and I don't even know about it, and I can see Mercedes-Benz. I can go stand right outside and see Mercedes-Benz. Facts. And not know a goddamn thing. And not care. Because something else is going on. Or black people just somewhere gathering together on a random Thursday night. Or on Saturday, we all like to go here, here, and here, and here, and here. There's not just one thing to do. There's not one place to go. What is in it for the Falcons to tear it all down and offend black people, the black fan base, and to threaten Michael Penix Jr., the quarterback? In my opinion, answer the question. What's in it for them so they can move? In my opinion. Hey, how you doing? It said not watching this. Yep, not watching the Super Bowl. I'm out. I'm out. Reallocate. That's the term. It's safe for you to use on the internet and reallocate. That's what you need to be doing. You need to reallocate your time, and you know what you need to reallocate: your funds, your coins, the bag. Reallocate immediately. And if you just gotta be a slave to it, you better show up with Deion Sanders' jersey on. Or Michael Penix Jr. jersey on. Or Shedeur Sanders jersey on. In fact, I might go stand outside Mercedes-Benz showing honor to Shedeur Sanders or Coach Prime or Michael Penix Jr. or Julio Jones. Because they did him dirty too. They paid Matt Ryan and screwed over Julio Jones. They don't respect black people. You need to make good decisions. And since they want to be anti-black, you better not watch that crap. You better find something else to do. Because you supporting your own damn demise if you do. Understand that. Understand it. Understand. Dylan, Bubba, and Judy spotted at a Publix eating fried chicken. I know that's right. I know that's right. It said, I know them stadium seats going to be empty. Y'all saw what happened in Cleveland. Y'all saw what happened in Cleveland. And watch what they do. We moving. Bye. We want to take the name. Bye, because it don't mean shit no more. DC Young Fly said what everybody was thinking. And I can't play it here because he cussed a lot, but it was good. He cussed a lot. He kept using the N-word. And, you know, y'all know how to find me on IG. I put it in my stories and I put it on my reels. It's right in the front. I'm a pin it. In fact, I'm a pin it. Screw them, bro. And I already told y'all, I wasn't watching this crap. I said I wanted to see how it goes with Caleb. I'm going to have to hear about it. I'm going to have to hear about it. Just like I heard about the Texans. I already knew they was going to play them. I'm telling you, this is all being done to make sure Tyler Shaw comes out as the division next year. They're going to cheat. Bryce Young again, like they cheated him in the playoffs this year because I watched it. I saw his own O-lineman set him up, and they were black. It's like they'll use the white person so the black people can see nothing bad is going to happen to them. Then they change to black people. Baltimore was with Mark Andrews first, then it was Derrick Henry. In my opinion. Make good choices. Make good choices. Being woke is better than being asleep. And that's how you got your throat greased. Because you were asleep. But I bet you up now. I bet you up now. It said time to pull back. Absolutely. On those finances. Yep. Y'all gonna see me at some Hawks games. Y'all already saw me going over there. Y'all already saw me going over there. These folks think they are irreplaceable. Matter of fact, I got a video to post with that song. Look for it in a little bit. When I get out of here, then I'm going to be back at 10:35. Understand. Their attitude is we don't give a damn about you. We don't give a damn what you think, what you going to do. You still going to show up. Shout out to the Browns fans that stayed away. Yep. Mm-hmm. Playing straight in our faces. I tell you. Hey, Queen T, how you doing? It says Stefanski has been reunited with Kirk Cousins and Penix will be QB2. Absolutely. Let's just hope he's alive and breathing because they're going to try to figure something out. He got to bring Tommy Reese and Dillon to the Cousins backup and Penix third string. This is ridiculous. ATL, y'all got to put y'all boots on the ground. Facts. Y'all better put them boots on the ground somewhere else. I know that. And if you show up, you better be dressed in 21 up and down. Michael Penix Jr. up and down. This is the house that Coach Prime built. I don't give a damn if they blew up the Georgia Dome. This city loves Coach Prime and the Sanders. Remember Shiloh was talking about moving here? And I was like, oh, it will be good for him to move here. This is Black Hollywood. They hate it. Even was trying to make sure that as many movies that were made here could be made here. You see, they got the Tyler Perry, don't you? Cat Williams is building a studio in Alabama. 50 Cent is successful with his in Shreveport. Let's hope they stay woke. That's all I'm saying. Being woke is better than sleep. And the Falcons fans clearly was loyal to sleep. Had they throat greased in the process. And and they don't give a damn. It's the boldness for me. It is just the boldness. I'm like, y'all have lost y'all ever-loving mind. Y'all really trying to offend and piss off all black people somewhere. Okay, all right. I know we ain't going outside for this. Understand that. But they don't believe we are united. I know that for a fact. So they have a plan, and it's to screw over Michael Penix Jr. Understand that. And the only way they're going to try to win is with a quarterback that's not black, because the Falcons have proven through their actions that they want to be anti-black and that they do not want to win with Michael Penix Jr. And based on their behaviors when they drafted him, they never wanted to win with Michael Penix Jr. because they paid Kirk Cousins an ungodly amount of money to keep him parked in Atlanta. Just like Caleb Williams' backup is paid an ungodly amount of money for a D3 backup. That's that wealth transfer system. Because they would never pay a black backup $10 million who went to a D3 school. Trinidad he didn't go to D1 schools first, right? Let's see what happens with his case. I'm following it in Mississippi State Court against the NCAA. And if he has to come out, they already have him devalued. And I want you to hear what they talk about or where he went to school in a competition. But Caleb Williams, who's not black, he is white, has been paid this year $10 million, which means they coming for Caleb. And that's why I don't think they're going to win. I think they'll tell Ben Johnson, we'll catch you later. He going to get one hell of an extension, one hell of a pay raise, or whatever the hell he wants. So he could be okay with losing, because that's what they did with Stefanski. And he just failed up. And big time. They are celebrating because they are reversing progress. Where black quarterbacks are concerned, black fans in the NFL. Next is black players. Yep, they headache now. Yep. They said y'all about to see the Benz Stadium in the A with nothing but Browns 12 jerseys on. I don't even know why you show up there. Matter of fact, just go stand outside of it collectively and take photos. I say don't give them a dime. But I know people still gonna do it. Because I saw the diehard Browns fans. I'm like, y'all just couldn't stay away, but it's okay. Whatever. Let's see what happened. I've been saying Cleveland and Atlanta different. I've said that so much. It's time to show and prove. And I've listened to their little podcast. See, I don't listen to them commercial podcasts because they just pushing the same narrative that the larger media is pushing. That's why they get paid. They bought and paid for. Hell, one of them in Dallas is straight AI, and you wouldn't know till you pay close attention to the mannerisms, how much they blink, that type of thing. I've listened to black podcasters. And some of them with it, Kevin Stefanski was a 2-time coach. People in the comments on the black people that say things like that in Atlanta that are Falcons fans, they're like, you hate it, but you feel like this what you have to say. And I'm like, why he feel like he got to say it? Somebody that they really like, an older black guy. Then I listened. I didn't listen to nobody who hated on Shedeur because there's no point in that. Remember how they wanted Andrew Berry to get fired and they wanted Kevin Stefanski to keep his job? Remember that? Remember that, right? It's the same sentiment. And remember how they were mad that Kevin Stefanski got fired and Andrew Berry kept his job? They were mad that the white guy got fired and the black guy kept his job. So what just happened in Atlanta? I'm going to show y'all. Fired the black guys, hired the white guys, and gave him the keys to hire some more white guys. With the white guy they just hired, Matt Ryan. When black people in the NFL do something, I'm going to show you is what comes next. Mike Tomlin, what did he do? He signed 2 black quarterbacks. And they said, I'm going to show you. They forced both quarterbacks out. One just left. They thought they was going to keep Justin Fields there buried. But he escaped. But they pushed out Russell Wilson. They pushed him out. Just like they stripped Mike Tomlin his power. And then they pushed him out. And they gladly celebrated Mike Harbaugh, who got fired and failed up. See, the white guys are failing up. The black guys being pushed out. The Dylans are failing up. the black quarterbacks being pushed away to the side, but not all the way out, but buried. Why don't they want them? They don't want them all the way out because they're gonna go start their own, or because they're gonna go somewhere else and ball out. You know how I know Tampa not gonna win the division? That this is for Tyler Shaw. Because if you paid attention to Tampa this year, they start going in on their quarterback first. Y'all know that's what Shiloh was and got set up. They were in position. They were in first place. They tore them down game by game. Then they started saying things like, we're going to have to talk about Baker. Is it time to talk about Baker? Why do they hate Baker? Because Baker left Cleveland and had the audacity to be successful. It proves that Stefanski was trash. Now y'all know why Emory Hunt never wanted to use the word sabotage on his show. I noticed something. I noticed Shannon Sharp was one of the first people to announce that Stefanski got hired. I listened to his show. Welcome to Atlanta, I guess. I listened to he and Ocho talk about Stefanski being a good fit in Atlanta. They even mentioned Shedeur. And then they were like, yeah, I don't know about that one. Then they start talking about all the talent. Not a coincidence. The same day they were announcing this, Shannon was banging a gong in Denver. Not a coincidence when they were out there cheating. The Panthers were cheating their own quarterback, Bryce Young. Cam Newton, who they did dirty, was banging the drum. Shout out to Cam Newton for asking where are the black people at in Atlanta when it comes to the president, the GM, etc. They put a picture together of the leadership of the Falcons. It's all white people, no black people, because they kicked them out. And they were better than Kevin Stefanski, and they're going to let Stefanski choose the GM. This is it. This is an insult to your intelligence. This is an attack on you as a black person. As a Falcons fan, the damn show. As a citizen of this city, absolutely. As black people that love football, that spend their money on the NFL, you damn straight. You too. Because it's happening everywhere. They just choose to be loud with their transactions, their anti-blackness on MLK weekend in Atlanta. Because they love to say, I'm going to show you. Narcissism. Racism. Anti-blackness. It said, you know it's a mess. They did that in the middle of the night, right? It said, boycott the Falcons game. Absolutely. Falcons defensive coach, Ulbricht's son, the one that pranked Shedeur. Uh-huh. And then if the prank now makes sense to you, then the robbery should make sense to you. Then it should make sense to you. Because what the hell you going to do? That was I'ma show you, because you had the audacity to come here, and you know we didn't want you, and you have the audacity to step on that field and play as QB1. That's why it's his first game. And what you gonna do? I saw DC Young Fly's post, and guess who was one of the first people to like it, or who was at the top? LOL. Deion Sanders. Probably because he said, we don't want you. We saw what you did to Shedeur. We want Shedeur ugly. He was being funny because he's a comedian. One thing about a bully, and I sincerely hope and pray that Coach Prime understands this. They're not going to stop. They're waiting on you to make a move. And the longer you're silent, they just going to up the ante. It said the fans didn't ask for this. Nope. The Falcons messed up before when they tore down the oldest black church in the A to build the Ben Stadium. It said now they're messing up again. I don't know how that works, but that stadium belongs to the state of Georgia. The Falcons do play in it though, but they lease that stadium. The Falcons don't own that stadium. That's why this is happening. I think they're trying to move. You ain't gonna know about it for a year or so, but I think they're trying to move. I think they're trying to move because I know I already read a year and a half ago Every team wants a star. The star is real estate. You buy the big 500-acre plot of land. You get the city to put up money to pay for your stadium. Remember, we just talked about Haslam funds being blocked for that stadium because he's trying to use unclaimed funds, which is wrong. Let's see what happens because he's appealing it. It's been blocked twice. He's appealing federal judges, federal court. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Here comes the supercomputers. That's right. Matt Ryan is racist too. Some people keep saying that. They might as well get Pat Schumer on board. Don't be surprised. Only in America. Absolutely. And they try. And what did I say about them trying to take this type of anti-blackness globally? It said, make that make sense. In my opinion, stupidity and the gall to play in black folks' face. That's what it is. That's the straight up attack. That's the straight up attack. Happy Sunday. I guess black people don't go to Home Depot, huh? It said, I know the stadium's gonna be empty. We gonna see. We gonna see nepotism at its finest. So narcissism at its finest. It said Stefanski wasn't ever the problem. It said that was an NFL hit, but people love to touch on. See, what y'all don't understand is Stefanski is definitely the problem. Stefanski is the kind of people they like to carry out anti-black attacks. Absolutely. So, people need to understand something. You can't come this way. We too researched over here. We're well-read, well-educated, and well-researched. Stefanski has been exhibiting anti-black behavior when it comes to quarterbacks. It is documented. And he made sure we knew his disdain for Shedeur. And it had nothing to do with Coach Prime and everything to do with Shedeur having the audacity, like Lamar Jackson, to be a quarterback. And that's not even new. The hatred toward black quarterbacks in NFL is not new at all. What's new is players going back to college instead of Canada. That's what's new. If Stefanski gets a championship with the Falcons, we will all have the proof we need of collusion. They not letting him win nothing. Not with a black quarterback. It's not even a winning the championship. It's who the quarterback gonna be. See, you have to think about this for a second. Fired Raheem and the GM on the 4th. Stefanski is fired the very next day. A week after the last suspect, the third suspect was caught because the 4th was still missing. People were in the bushes filming this, which meant people knew Stefanski was getting released. So now the owner is appealing. The owner is basically doing a copy and paste from the Browns, which is why I think they want what the Browns want to move. And the Browns got it, but it cost them $100 million, but they still got it. And they paying that $100 million over 15 years. So technically the Browns are still winning in that deal because they should have made them pay it all at once. What if they're not around 15 years from now? City gonna get screwed. So you let them take the name for free over a 15-year payment. No, they weren't supposed to be able to take it at all. So these people still keep getting their way. Pay attention to if the funds for unclaimed money is still blocked by a federal judge. Why are they even appealing that? You would think their sensibilities and decency would say, let's just pay the money ourselves because we got it. They're not decent. And that's what you're seeing. And they doing it in your face. They used to do these things behind closed doors. This is intentional. The weekend, the city, the franchise, the prank, the robbery, and Stefanski. It's all intentional. Because if they was on to him, he got away with it because I'm going to show you. And this is his haven. And I don't know how he's comfortable in it, but okay. Okay. Stefanski's reward. That's facts. That's facts. Stefanski was rewarded for sabotaging. That's facts. That's facts. This is reward season. ATL better not show up. It sounds like Queen T, they trying to figure out if they going to show up with Coach Prime's jerseys on and pay good money to do it, which is ignorant, and at the same time, or stay home. At least the Browns fans stayed home. They ain't go buy no merch to enrich these folks. Stay home. If they want to copy and paste from the Browns, then you need to copy and paste from the boycott that the Browns actually executed, the fans. And who did they bring in for the halftime show? The guy from Atlanta, from Outkast. Big boy. You see how they keep going back to Atlanta? I swear they be trying to tell you. I even asked the guy I was interviewing. Remember I said, are there no rappers in Cleveland? You had to wonder about that. And they said it's because he was just in the ring of the Hall of Fame. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, why you didn't bring all of them? See how they keep pulling in black people? Cam Newton banging a gong at the same time they cheating Bryce Young out the playoffs because they wasn't going. Look at how they already treated Bryce Young. You think they don't feel like that no more? Of course they do. They did the same thing to Cam Newton, and then they got him to bang the gong while they were doing it to Bryce Young. Shannon Sharp, a very vocal person about the sabotage of Stefanski. On the same night Stefanski is being hired, who out here banging a Shannon Sharp? So instead of him having a headline that says Stefanski is not a good fit because of what happened to Shedeur, whatever, he eased off of it, but he was one of the first people to know. See, that's how they get you. Just like I love Simone Biles, but they trying to use her to build up for this game. And if they succeed at cheating Caleb, because they already paid his back up $10 million, they using her. They use Method Man. They use 50 Cent. They using King Griffey Jr. Why are these people black? Because I'm stabbing black people in the back. So I'm putting black people in their face so they don't see it. Or so they don't care about it. Or so they don't do anything about it. That's their MO. And that's what you're going to see in Atlanta. In fact, that's what you currently are seeing in Atlanta. And you will continue to see them pull black people close. Do you know how many black limited partners there are in Atlanta? A lot. And what they going to do? Nothing but make money unless these people stay home. And what happened when they got Charles Woodson in Cleveland? You know that's why they did that, right? You know that's why they did that. That's why they touch all on you. That's why they make you feel included. Just like tenderism. Just like stab them in the back. Same thing. But the money is to subdue you. Just like their money, their reward is for the dirt that they have done. While the people who pay them keep their hands clean. Just like the robbery. The MO is the same. The narcissism is the reason. And the racism is the motive. Better to be woke than to be sleep. Better to be woke than to be sleep, because that's how you get your esophagus greased. Yep. It said, I can't stand Matty Ice. Oh, that's the name, Matty Ice. I knew it was Icy Matt something, whatever. This is why I stopped being a Falcons fan early on. I'm like, y'all delusional. I'm sorry. I can't be around here. I'm like, they scored over Michael Peters Jr., and this was before Shedeur was still in college. So that's why I'm telling y'all, what's happening has been happening. They doing it in front of your face instead of behind your back like they've been doing it. They don't even give a damn if you don't come to the game, because you might watch it on TV. And remember, each owner gets a $452 million check because you watch it on TV. They don't own that damn stadium. They don't care if it sits empty. And y'all crazy if you buy merch to send a message. Don't do that. Let it sit empty. And then they're going to want to move. Bye. That's what you need to tell them. Get the hell out of here. They're not benefiting the damn people that live in the city. How do you benefit black people and you anti-black, or you racist toward black people, or you abusing black NFL players? Look for something else that leaves them asking you, that offends black people, where they get to say what you gonna do about it. Understand? The climate, same thing. ATL better not show up. I know that's right. I know that's right. Hey, Queen, what's up, chat? I'm so disgusted with my team. They didn't have to rush to get him. Baby, they didn't rush. They already had him. They already had him. They didn't rush, Marlon. He was already selected. The question is, when did he get truly identified? When he got identified? Stefanski was never getting that job in New York. Why did they have to hire him at all? Why was he even included? Why does he have half the keys to the goddamn team? Didn't know you was in an 8. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? The Falcons should boycott. Yep. The fans, they got to move on. A losing coach. And the crazy part is, the Falcons fans woke up and realized something. Wait a minute. You fired Morris, who had a better record than Stefanski. Yeah, because Morris is black and Stefanski is white. And he finna pick some old people just like him. That's why they gave him half the keys. Baby, the thing about it is, they make all of these plans without God. Just like they plotted against Shedeur without God. And Shedeur is still standing. And Shedeur had to go went through so he can understand what I said. Nothing that happened in that draft was about your father. Nothing. Your robbery was an inside job. The prank was the NFL itself. It's documented. They lied to protect the New York Giants, scapegoated the Falcons. What's in it for the Falcons? To be the scapegoat, to burn up its franchise, knowing it has a black fan base, to act anti-black when you have a black fan base that you no longer suddenly care about, and you push all the black people out. Retaliate against the players who stand up for black coaches that were done dirty. See, they've been doing this. This was all planned. Yep, the fallout is here. Yep. Matt Ryan dated Arthur Blank's daughter. I heard he his son-in-law, which means he don't give a damn what you think. Like I said, I heard they married. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is, but that's what I heard from people in Atlanta. It says Stefanski about to divide the locker room. Stefanski about to do everything. Atlanta is copying and pasting Cleveland. What the hell does Cleveland, what does Cleveland have that they could possibly want in Atlanta? They own stadium on 500 acres like the Star in Dallas. Yeah, I remember when Jerry Jones bought that land. It was supposed to be a $5 billion development that turned into the Star. They have a hotel. They have restaurants. They have shops. They don't give a damn if you don't go to the game. Come over here and spend that cash. But they need to possibly take a page out of what's happening in Atlanta already. The shops and stores closing up. Fans come out to hang out, but they don't spend no money. Maybe it's different in Dallas. I mean, maybe. It is a tech hub in North Dallas, where the Star is. That's where the money is. That's where Dr. Pepper's located, Pepsi, FedEx, and any tech company you could name, because there's money. We're talking oil and gas. Atlanta's not oil and gas. So if they go further to like Alpharetta, what's that area? That is Alpharetta, where they have all of the shops. It's boring as hell to me, but they got Whole Foods over there. It got a name. I forget it. They got restaurants. I'm pretty sure that's where they want to be. They already out there. Their practice facilities already out there. And I forgot, not Smyrna, but I forgot what that area is called. But it's where the houses are like averaging 500,000. That's where they want to be, because that's exactly what a star is. And I'm assuming that Brook Park must have homes that average 500,000 for them to want to move 15, 30 minutes up the road. The stadium in Cleveland is actually nice. It's on the lake and everything. But they don't own it. They don't own the land that it sits on. See, they greedy. They want all the money. They want to do the real estate deal. They own the land. They own the stadium. Then they can lease it to somebody else and make the money off the land and the stadium in perpetuity. That's how these deals are done. And this is what every team wants. And apparently, Atlanta is willing to forsake its fan base. Maybe they already figured out they can get a whole white fan base now, because they don't give a damn about the black. So maybe they figure something out. But that's not their stadium. Understand that. I'd rather stuck one more year out with Raheem Morris. Yep, that's facts. That's facts. Hey, Niecy, how you doing? Hey, Gemini, how you doing? Yep, Raheem Morris was done dirty. Atlanta is a what? What is Atlanta assigned to? Let us know. It said, yep, they're trying to do a whiteout. Yep, they're definitely for the Super Bowl and maybe in Atlanta at the games too, I guess. Gentrification of the Falcons. Absolutely. Atlanta is the city of color. Yep, definitely that. It said he better not bring Dylan Gabriel with him. Well, guess what? They already got one popular publication doing a nice, heartwarming story on Dylan, trying to get somebody, their readers, to like him for a reason. People keep saying Shedeur is good now. Why? Because the owner that hired Stefanksi is still the owner and is looking for a Stefanski 2.0. And if to be a brown person like McDaniel, who's half black, he's going to be a puppet. Andrew Berry, who went to Harvard, they made Stefanski his equal. Stefanski just got to Atlanta, and they letting him decide, along with Matty Ice, who they use to grease your throat, who the GM gonna be. Stefanski undermined Andrew Berry the entire time, and definitely when Shedeur arrived and went crying about it to the NFL. Yes, he was upset because of the personnel decisions that were being made. You are a damn coach. But suddenly here he is in Atlanta and he gets to choose the GM so he can do whatever the hell he want to do to the personnel. That Falcons not the only team y'all need to reallocate time and money from. I guess the gentrifications of the Browns didn't work. We gonna see. We gonna see. AB ain't going nowhere. Yeah, maybe not this year. It said they know we see it, just not powerful enough. That's what they think. But you powerful enough to stay home. Just leave Shedeur alone. Nah, I don't feel like that. See, people want to say, see, that's what they want. That's what they want. Somebody actually said it. Why y'all worried about it? He not up there with Shedeur. I'm like, so I'm not supposed to give a damn about Michael Penix Jr. That's exactly the plan. That's exactly the plan. Got to get the hell out of Cleveland because 20 million fans. Oh, I can come to Atlanta. They ain't going to. Really? Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Let's see. Because last I checked, they went to bat for Michael Penix Jr. So let's hear the narrative that they start pushing so the fans in Atlanta can be happy that Michael Penix Jr. is being targeted and abused and cheated so he can move the hell out of the way for a white QB. Let's see what happens. Because they already did that with Kirk Cousins this year. And they lost and used it to fire Raheem Morris, who have a better record than Stefanski. Can't make this shit up, bro. Can't make it up. All right, I got to get out of here. Yes, he's going to do the same thing to Michael Penix Jr. I got to be back at 10:35. It is still the off season. I'll see y'all tonight at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make good choices. It is better to be woke than it is to be asleep. Stay alert. I'll see y'all later. 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you can make it back. Enjoy. Make good choices.